Welcome to my podcast. My name is Corrinala. I come to you from the Pacific Northwest where I live with my partner, our 2 kitties, and 2 adopted Mustangs. Information about the Wildhorse adoption program will be in the episode description box. This podcast covers knitting projects, my horsemanship journey, and my other passions like vegetable gardening and bicycling. If you're new here, I hope you find the content interesting. If you're a returning viewer, it's always great to have old friends. The format of this channel typically includes musings on an early walk to the barn to feed the horses, then knitting content, some catch up on the horsemanship journey, and finally more musings or maybe a little bicycling footage if I was lucky enough to get out. Enjoy, and I hope to see you soon. Hey friends, welcome to this episode of my podcast. Today is Friday, February 13, 2026. Normally I would record and edit my podcast on Fridays. There has been a lot going on and I am going to make this a very vloggy podcast with some knitting content, with a little bit of horsemanship content, not too much, and then a lot of life stuff. So hope you have something nice to drink, a crafty project to work on, or you're doing some chore. I'm going to start today by walking out to the barn. It's still dark out. It's about 6:30 in the morning. Even though it is February, there's a lot of pollen out, so I have been a little froggy in the morning. So let's get going, shall we? Boots on. It feels warmer than I was expecting it to be. I thought it was going to be in the low 40s, but it feels a little bit warmer than that. Maybe because it's just all relative, and it has been freezing in the morning. So it's dark out. I'm being very careful. I don't have my headlamp on because I can see. I am aware that you can't see. We are walking out to the pump house to turn on the water to the barn. I think you can see that my truck and trailer are parked over there. And the reason for that is we are having a big event tomorrow. Tomorrow is our wedding. It's one of the many big events that have happened recently. After Thanksgiving, my dad went into the hospital and had been in the hospital since. And we spent Christmas with him in a nursing home, a rehab center, and then shortly after that, he went back into the hospital. On January 21st, well, let me back up. On Christmas Eve, Randy had proposed to me. We have been a couple for almost 19 years. We bought this property together, and the proposal was completely a surprise to me. I mean, it was never a priority to get married, but here we are now. And of course I said yes. I mean, why wouldn't I? After all this time, I mean, I like having them around. We're good together. So we got to celebrate that with Dad. And then January 21st, Randy got in a car accident. Not his fault. So we had and he didn't get hurt very badly. I mean, he had kind of like whiplash stuff, but that seems to have resolved since then. But we really had the hassle of, replacing a vehicle, insurance, all of that. It's a hassle. Morning, boys. So I can see Odin. I know you can't see him. Not sure where Bragi is. Around here somewhere. Oh, there he is. Okay. And when we were buying his replacement car, got the call from the hospital that some decisions were going to have to be made about Dad. And it was shortly after that he went into hospice. So once someone goes into hospice and the doctors say there isn't much anyone can do, then you have to start preparing for the next step, which are a lot of steps when no plans have been made. I'll get to that in a minute. I need to turn on more lights though. So the last couple of weeks, hi-oh, good morning. The last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of, okay, it's time, you need to get here to the hospital. So did a lot of that. And my buddy, Odin's been on a diet, so he's super enthusiastic about breakfast. And so there were times that we spent hours at the hospital, and I think the last title of my episode was called Waiting. So honestly, I don't remember what the days were, and I apologize for this being a little bit disjointed because I'm trying to do two things at once, which is normal, like get hay into a bucket for Bragi. So we spent hours at the hospital with Dad not really being very lucid. The hospital staff kindly were providing comfort care, which means morphine and stuff like that. So I think it was Friday, February 6th, I think, or maybe it was Thursday the 5th. Like I said, the days are a blur. That the whole family gathered round and we said our goodbyes. The medical staff took off his oxygen, thinking it would, hi buddy, are you gonna come in? Good boy. Thinking it would be a couple hours, even though the doctor warned us, thank you for coming in, it could be up to 48 hours. There you go. Yeah, good job. Yeah, good work. And I put the hay right in the doorway where I need to come through with the wheelbarrow here shortly. Well, on Friday, Dad was still with us. So Randy and I went up. The rest of the family lives quite a bit further south. his wife was pretty distraught, of course, and felt like she had said her goodbyes. So Randy and I went up, and Dad really wasn't conscious at that point. And I'm also, kind of stuttering a bit because it's not easy to talk about this. So we stayed with him for a couple hours, just let him know that we were with him, and we would kind of continue to support him any way that we could. And but once in a while he seemed like he was kind of got conscious again, but I don't know really whether that was true consciousness or whether at that stage that it's just discomfort. So, well, since I'm talking to you, I can put the camera towards me. Anyway, Saturday morning at about 6:30 local time, I got a phone call that he had just passed. So that was Saturday, September. That was Saturday, February 7th. So then, we had burial plans and stuff like that. So fast forward to yesterday, February 12th, Thursday, we had just a very small, well, I don't know how many people were there, probably 15, just a very small, intimate ceremony. I spoke, Dad's nephew spoke, and I have a recording of that I'm going to share with my sister. If you want the link to that, just let me know and I will share it, because otherwise I'm going to make it unlisted. But we laid him to rest yesterday. We still have the headstone to order, and the celebration of life will be September 20th, when my sister and my cousin, both from the Midwest, can be here. So with that mostly behind us now, we can get on to the earnest business of the wedding, which is tomorrow. So both Randy and I are off today and have a million things to do. And then we're going to have the ceremony tomorrow, and I want to share as many pictures as I can. I don't think anyone's going to be videoing. And then this episode will come out when it comes out. All right, I'm going to finish feeding. Right. Okay. She's my best woman. Okay. All right. Okay. Are we coming in? For the video.
All right. Welcome, everyone. We're gathered here today to celebrate the love between Randy and Corrina, and to support them as they continue their lives as a married couple. You've been invited because you've each shaped their lives in a meaningful way, and they wanted you to be here to witness this moment. Corrina.
Yes.
Do you take Randy to be your husband?
I do.
Do you promise to love, comfort, honor, and keep him in sickness and in health for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Randy, do you take Corrina to be your wife? Do you promise to love, comfort, honor, and keep her in sickness and in health for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
You have some vows you would like to make?
Yes. Today, I ask that you be a companion and a spouse to me, with your consent and with your full knowledge. May this marriage be a covenant and partnership and trust as we work to build a life together, sometimes in unison, sometimes in harmony. Today, I bind myself to you with respect, with love, with friendship, and with joy, so that we may be companions and lovers until the end of our days.
Corrina, today I choose you to be my wife. I vow to love you encourage you, trust you, and respect you. I accept you as you are, and I offer myself in return. I will care for you and stand beside you. I will share with you all of life's adversities and all of its joys from this day forward and all the days of my life.
Amen. And we have rings. These rings are a circle representing the unending nature of your love. Place this ring on Randy's finger and repeat after me. With this ring. And repeat after me. With this ring I be wed.
With this ring I be wed.
And Randy, place this ring on Corina's finger and repeat after me. With this ring I be wed.
With this ring I be wed.
By the power vested in me by the state of Washington, I now pronounce you husband and wife.
All right.
May I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Parker.
Thank you, everyone,
Yes.
for being our witnesses.
I did it without crying too.
You
I saw you. Oh, I'm like a man.
Yeah,
Well, thank you, everybody. That was nice for you all to come.
yeah.
It was a great day.
It's about time.
Yeah.
19 years.
Oh, thanks.
19 years. So we're following the Lotven family. Yeah. Well, Jen and Steve and Maddie and Tyler brought a beautiful spread. So we will pop some champagne. We have sparkling water for people who don't imbibe. So we will start pouring that, but please help yourself to some food.
What's that?
Hi friends, today is Sunday, February 15th. It's been a very long and busy week full of events, which I have talked about already. I come to you as a married woman now, which is very exciting and kind of exhausting as well. Exhausting in a good way. So hopefully you enjoyed the clip with the wedding ceremony. It was very sweet. We spent most of the time with our gathering of about 20 or 21 people, socializing, connecting, catching up, and just enjoying a lovely day with a lovely cap to a hard week. Shall we talk about knitting? I am wearing the Udina sweater. So this is a Barocco pattern using Barocco yarn. The pattern or the project page is in my show notes. I wasn't keeping very good notes then about yarn and whatnot. Just suffice to say, I used the recommended yarn in what the pattern called for, if you are interested. So I'm drinking some tea. I'm drinking some throat soothing tea. I talked a lot yesterday during the wedding, and it's also, there's a lot of pollen in the air, so I've started to notice that. I hope you have something nice to drink and a project to work on if that's what you are doing. So let's catch up. I do have a finished object. It is, however, in the blocking tub or the soaking tub, and I will be blocking it, but I finished the Talvinen this morning. I made the unhappy discovery that I used 2 different needle sizes for the sleeves. So one sleeve is knit. No, I bet I didn't. I bet I didn't. I bet they're the same size. I just unfortunately used, nope, I remember switching needles the first time. On the first sleeve, going from the sleeve needles, which were a US size 3, to the cuff needles, which are a US size 2. With so much going on though, I accidentally put the US size 3 needle in the US size 4 package and started knitting. I'm honestly not sure the order of things now because I feel like I cast on the project that should have a US size 4 from the Talvinen. I hope this is making sense. When I discovered my error, I was trying to find the missing needle, the one with the identity, the what do you call it? When the misidentified needle, I was trying to find that package and learned that it was in another project that I will share with you shortly. So all that to say, the first sleeve, the main part of the sleeve was knit in a US size 3, and the second sleeve was knit all in the ribbing needle, which is a 2.75. Granted, there isn't a huge amount of difference between those, so I think it'll block out fine. I tried it on this morning, and if I hadn't have known that, I wouldn't have noticed. So, mistaken identity. Is that the word? Is that the phrase I was looking for? It's a very sunshiny day, so there is a little bit of a reflection, and I'm trying to face the other way. I had my wedding shawl around my shoulders because I wanted to show that, but you'll see it in the video previous to this, so no need for me to wear it. It's just warm with the sun in, and there was a little bit of a glare. So let's just talk about some of my other whips and then what I am going to do next, shall we? Okay, I did work on the 100-acre wood blanket, but it is over there. So, and I'll show it to you when I finish the third stripe. So I think I have 3 or 4 more squares left for the third stripe. So I'm not going to show that, but what I will show you with the Talvinen. So this was a bag that I crocheted. It is a Nitty Natty pattern, Love and Stitches. I can take out some of the stuff. I already put the needles away. I'm going to toss the tag. No, I'm not, because I have leftover yarn. So this was the main color, Nightshade. It's by Emma's Yarn. It's I think it's Emma's Practically Perfect sock yarn. And I have 49 grams left out of the 3 skeins. So I'm going to put this back in my stash. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but it is enough for stash. The second color, also Emma's Practically Perfect sock yarn in the colorway Love Drunk. This was an accent color. I have 81 grams left out of a 100 gram skein. So I can definitely do something with this. So stuff this back in the middle, and that is going back in stash. And then finally, of the Woolen Women colorway, this was where the birds. So this is the Kentucky Derby colorway, and I have 53 grams left. So, all in all, I have 200 grams, which can make something out of that. Maybe a tank or something out of that. So I'll have to think about that, how I would want to do that. I could do like another colorwork yoke tank or something like that. Or, yeah, I don't know. I am definitely going to think about that. So can throw that one away. I'm going to keep that. So that is that. And the other thing I could do, here's my gauge swatch. I can throw that away too. Isn't that pretty? I can also show you, since I can show you what the float tote has to offer. So it has this crocheted platform and these cups to keep your yarn organized. And it's especially handy for color work. So just keeping your balls of yarn or cakes of yarn in the right place without getting tangled. So this bag can go back in the closet and think about another project to go in it eventually. I'm not going to cast on anything immediately because I have a sweater. This is the one in this bag made by my husband, Randy, who has an industrial sewing machine. I'm making this cardigan out of this book, Knit Happy with Self-Strapping Yarn, and it is the sock arms cardigan. So sock arms cardigan, that's what it looks like. I am using a Knit Picks gloss yarn out of the colorway Clarity. So now now that I've discovered that I have most of the yoke done, I'm just working on the right side because I made a mistake and had to rip out. I misread a section of increases. So this is what I have done so far. I mean, it looks like it's going to fit, so I don't know. Maybe I'm not going to worry about it. I probably won't. I probably won't put buttons on the cardigan, and that will help immensely. So I don't know if you can see this. It doesn't go with this Udina. So let me see if I can arrange the camera a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, the main thing is that it fits over my shoulders. It doesn't need to close. So mess with my hair, get my hair to calm down. So and these are the ones that I'm accidentally knitting on the size, US size 3, which is I think it's a 3.25. Let me look, since I have the right package. Chaghu red lace. So 3.25 millimeter, and a US size 4, which is the recommended needle size, is a 3.5. So I am just going to work on that the way it is. The sleeves are going to be in this colorway. This is a Freckled Whimsey called Jeepers Creepers, part of the Halloween Club. So I think this is going to be super fun. So it'd be fun to, nice summer cardigan with like maybe a tank top underneath. So that is the progress I am making on that sweater. So really fun. And I have one more work in progress I want to share with you, and then I'll talk about the rest. I can't believe I've been talking for 10 minutes already. I'm pretty tired. So, and I know that every week I say I'm tired, I'm stressed, I'm something. And it's all true. I guess that's the way I roll. So, but I think those of you who are regular viewers, I think you know that, and you know that that's what your life is like too, so you can probably relate. So this is a bag made by my mom that I got for Christmas. Really pretty quilted bag that I love for socks. It has this batik fabric in the middle. So these are the Valenvent socks. This is a pattern by Kay Jones, and it's a patron pattern. Let me show you what I don't have to show you what they look like because I have one finished sock, and the other sock I'm ready to start the heel. So this is, you start with a self-striping yarn. I used Freckled Whimsey Happy Pinkoween, and then these two were scraps that I got out of my scrap jar. I want to say that the pink is peony, and I honestly don't remember what this yellow is or what project it was in. So I might have to go searching through my sock stash, the ones that I have knitted and haven't worn yet. This has her butterfly heel. It's not my favorite heel, but sometimes it's a nice change from heel flap and gusset. And then the foot. And I just did the toe in the self-striping yarn because I will have plenty of yarn. I am using Chow twists in a size 1.5, which is I think a 2.25 millimeter. And then this part I used a US 3, so the 3.25, and I'm pretty happy with how much stretch it has. I kind of worried about going up that much of a needle size, but I think it worked out beautifully. So this is the second sock, have the leg done, and am ready to start on the heel. So I guess I had posed a question to this group, and like, what does it mean going up a whole needle size? And I'm wondering, at least for me, if going up a whole needle size means going up a whole millimeter. So, because that seems to work for me. I mentioned the 100 Acre Wood Blanket, which is also a Kay Jones pattern. I am still working on the Purr-fect colorwork socks by Charlotte Stone. Those have been in hibernation. But now that I'm done with the Talvinen, that could be my colorwork project again. I am also in hibernation are the Surf Wax socks by Summer Lee. And I'm making those, they have kind of a chevron. And I am knitting those in a Freckled Whimsey self-striping yarn that was repurposed, so I don't have that original tag. No new cast-ons this week, so that's good news. The weather this week was a little cloudy and rainy. The day of my dad's burial was actually a transition from sunny to cloudy, and then Friday, it rained all day, which was fine because I ran a lot of errands. I got my hair cut. I did a lot of cooking and stuff like that. And I will tell you just kind of about pre-wedding stuff. So the night before the wedding, we knew we were going to move all the furniture in our house the next morning. And our plan was to move the sofa and the 2 armchairs outside, but the deck was wet and it just didn't seem like a good idea. So what we ended up doing, and I thought about this at 2:30 in the morning because that's when you do your best thinking apparently, of just moving, and you'll see this in the wedding video, or you will have seen it, that we just moved the sofa and the chairs to the French doors that overlook the deck. And then we set up all the rented chairs around in a kind of a semicircle, and then set up, well, you saw where, we had the ceremony. It was really fun. That only took a couple hours, and we had plenty of time to relax and fret and, wish our guests would hurry up and get there so we could get the show on the road. Yeah, it was just really, really enjoyable. If you're here for the horsemanship part, honestly, I didn't do that much. I just worked with Bragi, just still working on connection. I'm using the Alexandra Kurland book, which I found the most effective for him. She really is able to break things down into baby steps. So working on that. Still working with Odin on his physical therapy plan, and he's on a new medication. He seemed like he's felt pretty good because a couple days in a row he galloped up to the stall when it was feeding time, which I was like, I don't know if that's a good idea, but he did it, so good for him for feeling a little spunky. So I might try to work with him today. It's a beautiful day. And Randy's out riding his bike. It's still a little too cold for me to do that. Plus, again, my throat is a little scratchy. So I'm going to put my truck and trailer, move it from blocking the driveway because my farrier's coming. And maybe do a little bit of work with Odin. And then, I don't know. My goal today is to not use my brain too much. And I have to feed my neighbor's horses, the one who takes care of mine when we're gone. Today, she and her husband came to the wedding yesterday. They were on their way out of town to help a relative who'd had significant surgery, so they were just going to be gone tonight and come back tomorrow, and then they'll feed my horses, because Randy and I are taking a very short honeymoon. We're not going very far. We're staying in a local hotel. It's a casino hotel. And we've just kind of wanted to check it out. There's an outlet mall there, so if we have any shopping to do, which I don't know that I want to spend any more money. But mostly what I want is I want to get out of the house. I want to change in scenery. I want nice food that somebody else cooks. And which kind of brings me back to the wedding, because my best woman did the flowers, and they turned out beautiful. She just bought a bunch of flowers from a reputable grocery store and in our area, and then put them together, and they were white. I think they're white roses and some yellow flowers, and it's just very pretty. So I will try to take some photos and put those on this vlog. I have tried to do that before and it hasn't worked, but maybe if I use this camera, well, aren't I smart? The food, my sister-in-law, Randy's sister, did a magnificent job on the food. So, I mean, I made some bread and I made a carrot cake, which is Randy's favorite cake, and it never got out there. It was still in the refrigerator. Well, you know how it is. And I made some soup, which few people ate, but for the most part, people really enjoyed the bread. I make a sourdough bread with that's has a little yeast to help give it a boost. We have a ton of leftover food, and Randy's sister did such a good job of arranging the table and making everything spectacular. So what I think I will do, I think I've talked about everything. Oh, I was talking about our getaway. So eating nice food that somebody else cooks, change of scenery, and maybe a cultural experience. I'm curious. There is a local tribe. We have a couple tribes in this area. One is the Talvinen, which is the casino that we're going to, casino hotel, resort, whatever. There's a lot of restaurants, nice restaurants that we're going to stay at tomorrow night and Tuesday night. And they also have a cultural center that I'm very interested in. And we have another tribe around here called the Swinomish. No. I mean, they are around here. They're north, though. So Talvinen tribe is the casino. The Stillaguamish is the other tribe that's local to us, and they are actually closer. So there's this group of tribes are a part of the Salish group, and which is the Salish Sea has been known as the Puget Sound for a long time, and it's starting to revert back to the Salish Sea, which I'm glad about. I'm very glad about, quite honestly. So there's other tribes further south, like the Puyallup tribe, the Muckleshoot tribe, that are part of this Salish grouping. And there's more. I'm sure there's more that I'm just not thinking of right now because my brain is fuzzy. And then there's more tribes to the north as well. So the culture, well, let me name those because I can think of them. There's the Upper Skagit. There's the Samish. I already said there's the Saskatchewan, which are just upriver a bit. And north of that is definitely the Nooksack. And I want to say Lummi, although I don't know if that's Lummi. Lummi Island is, I'm honestly not sure if that is a tribe or an island that the Nooksack tribe historically occupied. And then you get further into the Canadian and the Alaskan tribes. That's the extent of my knowledge as far as like the Salish grouping. And I'm sure there's more on the west side of the Puget Sound. So I'm hoping to learn more about that when we go to the cultural center. So more to come on that. What else do I want to talk about? I'm still doing the Riders Pilates Club to get ready for riding when I can ride. Odin when he's ready for that. It's really been helping. So I hope to do the new. I've done it twice a week, just like as prescribed, and a new session will come out tomorrow, and I plan to do that. So I think what I will do is I will take you downstairs and show you the flowers and some of the nice things that were part of our wedding as a closing caption to this video. So this will probably be a long video, but I hope you get lots of crafty things done and other stuff done as well. So see you soon. Okay, the living room is still a little bit of a disaster area, but these are the lovely roses that Randy bought yesterday. They're 19 roses to commemorate our 19th anniversary and our wedding day. So very beautiful. He has given me one additional rose every year since we began our relationship. And here is a glimpse of the flowers that my best woman put together. So let's just walk around. We'll admire this picture of beach that my sister did for me. Here is my bridal bouquet. Very pretty. So I guess those are kind of cream color roses and white roses, and then some of these. So very nice. My sister-in-law put together, these are fake flowers, but they're really nice in champagne glasses, and we do have a bottle of champagne left. And then here are the other bouquets that my best woman made for me. And there we go. So that'll do it this week. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.